Hey, I'm going to attempt to bring up the white elephant in the room. Got some notes here so I don't get sidetracked too bad. Gill netting actively spawning walleyes in Mille Lacs Lake. That is the white elephant in the room, and very rarely do people talk about it. Well, there's two camps in this discussion. One is the OK camp and one is the not OK camp. The OK camp includes the DNR, which says that gill netting in the spring doesn't hurt the lake. And they have one way to prove it, and that is called recruitment. So they electroshock in the fall of any year, and what small fish they find from spawning in the spring is called recruitment. And the DNR claims that the recruitment in Mille Lacs Lake is just fine. So they say that it's okay. The Native Americans, on the other hand, say it's okay because it's a cultural tradition and it's a food source. Okay, so now we have the not okay people that say that disturbing spawning fish is detrimental to the process of rearing the young. Okay, now the problem with that is you have to prove it. You have to prove that there's a detriment to the number in the recruitment, meaning that what's happening in the spring is affecting how many babies live till fall. You have to prove it. I have brought it up at MILFAC meetings to do an egg quadrant study, which would study the areas that are undisturbed in a spawning area, and it would study spots that are undisturbed in a spawning area. And then you compare the two. This has been done in other areas. I've suggested it. It hasn't gone anywhere, but I did make the suggestion. So I have an idea. Let's offer a replacement. I've offered up this idea as well. This is about 5 years I've been talking about this, and it's been falling on deaf ears. It goes nowhere, so I'm going to turn to you, the sport anglers, and see if we can fine-tune it a little bit, get a discussion going, and see where it goes. I call it the WARP, W-A-R-P, Walleye Allocation Replacement Program. It works, WARP. What it would entail is the state would negotiate with the bands, which they've done in many other areas of the state. So it's no different than what they've done before, so I'll do it again. To get the bands, negotiate with the bands to get them to relax the effort of the harvest in the spring. Okay? I mean, that's the simple objective, is to curtail the amount of activity in the spawning areas in the spring. I guess how you would do this is, number one, you would remove no rights from the Native Americans. They can continue to harvest as usual. That guarantee has to be there, or they're going to walk away from the table. So you're virtually taking nothing away from them. On the other hand, of number two, what you would offer them is the state would supply walleyes, fresh frozen walleyes, to the band's elders on a monthly basis, 12 months out of the year. Instead of just stockpiling a bunch in the spring, once a month FedEx would arrive at their door, if that's what it took, and they would receive their walleyes once a week if they want it. It's all negotiable. I don't see many negatives. I mean, the only thing that the state would be asking for is just curtail it. Do less of it, and what you do less of will replace. The biggest year that the bands have ever had was 140,000 pounds. So if you took that in fillets, you're actually almost getting twice as much. So you're looking at, they would actually be doing about 250,000 pounds if we were to replace that 140,000 pounds with fresh frozen fillets. They can come out of Red Lake, have other tribal members of other bands handle their fish, things like that. Looking for other suggestions on what we could do. But, you know, we could pay for it with a Mille Lacs stamp. So everybody that fishes the lake would be contributing to it. Looking for other ideas for funding, because it's going to cost the taxpayers of Minnesota some money. I mean, that's just the bottom line. So I'm looking for suggestions. I'm not looking for rude comments or anything. I'll delete you. It's my Facebook page. It's my YouTube channel. I can accept or not accept any of the comments. So I tried to keep it neutral. Just telling you which two sides there are and what's going on. So if you got some suggestions or ideas or want to share some thoughts, please do it. All right. We'll talk to you later.